大家好，我係 Wilson，歡迎大家嚟到澳洲香港人頻道。澳洲喺老人服務方面咧就好多樣化嘅。咁上一集我同大家睇咗呢個 Aged Care Home 啦，呢個安老院舍。咁但係同一時候咧喺呢個社會裏邊咧，我哋亦聽過另外一種嘅名詞咧，就係呢個 Retirement Village。咁究竟兩者之間Retirement Village 同呢個 Aged Care Home佢哋之間嘅關係係點咧？我哋如果要選擇嘅時候係應該點樣揀擇？我會同大家睇幾樣嘢喎。首先咧就係佢哋嘅分別喺邊度，跟住咧就話我哋嘅考慮點啦，咩時候我哋要揀邊一樣嘢。咁第三咧就係咧佢哋嗰個收費啦。咁 Aged Care Home 上一集我講好多啦，咁所以呢一集咧我就會講得多一啲咧呢個 Retirement Village 咧佢嗰個收費嘅方法。咁第四咧就話當我哋如果要去揀呢啲 Retirement Village 嘅時候點樣揀個入手方法係點樣？Retirement Village 俾人一個印象咧，就係咧易入難出。咩意思就係話，當你想離開佢嘅時候你想攞翻自己嗰筆錢咧，咁嗰個計算係非常之複雜嘅。咁所以咧，我今日咧就特別咧，我同大家開一個題目，就係佢嗰個 exit management 要離開嘅時候有啲咩要注意。啲人離開 Retirement Village 往往去邊咧？好多時候咧就會去 Aged Care Home。好啦，咁呢個 transition 咧亦係一個大題目嚟嘅喎，我要同大家去睇一睇。咁最後咧就係 Q&A 時間，同埋我嘅一啲少少建議。好啦，咁我哋而家轉入去睇兩者之間嘅分別咯。呢度有6個細點。第一點咧就話乜嘢驅使啲人咧去揀呢個 Retirement Village？咁原來呢個係一個生活方式嘅轉變咁過去可能自己打理開一間大屋嘅咁依家咧就年紀老啦咁希望咧一切生活從簡咁希望住嗰個地方咧係更加適合呢啲長者居住嘅有扶手啲花草咧有人打理有人搞活動有同聲同氣嘅人咧住埋一齊。而啲人揀安老院舍咧就係呢個身體支援嘅需要啦，佢需要啲人咧7成夜4咁樣照顧嘅好啦，咁樣點樣進入呢啲機構咧 ？Retirement Village 咧政府去睇咧就係呢個係一個 financial arrangement 嚟嘅啫即係你私人去好似買賣呢個物業咁樣你依家咧就俾錢一個機構，然後就住入去係一個商業行為，一個 business transaction 嚟嘅啫。咁如果 Aged Care Home 咧，你就需要做一個 assessment 咧，係先至准你入去，同埋咧決定咧去收你幾多錢嘅。好啦，兩者嘅法例都唔同嘅喎呢個 Retirement Village 咧，法例管理佢咧係好少嘅，因為呢個只係一個商業行為咁佢只係受唔同州份嘅法例所管轄，比較鬆懈嘅。咁但係咧呢個 Aged Care Home 咧管理佢個法例就係一個聯邦嘅法例因為對政府嚟講咧呢個係一種 service， 係對老人嘅 service。咁政府咧甚至為一個部長咧去 look after 呢一個 segment 嘅。咁第四咧就係佢哋嘅入住費用啦。其實兩者都相似嘅，你都係要俾一個冧心佢哋，你先入住到。咁只不過個名唔同。Retirement Village 嗰個名咧就叫做 Entry Contribution。咁有啲時候咧你見政府某啲網站咧又叫做 Ingoing Contribution而呢個 Aged Care Home 咧就叫做 Refundable Accommodation Deposit 或者話你俾入租啦，呢個 Daily Accommodation Payment DAP。好啦，咁佢哋 ongoing 係點咧？ongoing 大家所俾嘅嘢都係差唔多，只不過咧個名堂唔同。喺 Retirement Village 裏邊咧，因為佢所服侍你嘅嘢少啲，咁佢係每個禮拜收你大約300蚊至800蚊，係視乎唔同嘅等級嘅機構而定嘅。咁至於呢個 Aged Care Home 嗰邊咧，佢就收你呢個 daily fee 啦，你嗰個食用費用啦，同埋你嗰個 care fee 啦。好啦，咁到你離開嘅時候咧，兩者嘅 arrangement 都係差唔多，大家都會還翻一嚿錢俾你咁只不過咧還翻嗰個份量咧係各有不同。Retirement Village 呢一邊咧就會扣起你 roughly 咧係1/3佢將呢個1/3咧就係作為咧你喺過去所住嗰個嘅經營成本exactly 嗰個銀碼咧就會喺你嗰個合同裏邊咧去同你定明嘅。咁而呢個 Aged Care Home 嗰邊咧就會扣起你1/10就俾翻90% 你。咁大家對於呢啲銀碼咧，哇，好似好複雜咁唔使驚，一陣間我會用好長嘅篇幅咧去再講呢啲銀碼係點樣計算嘅。好啦，當我哋大約了解咗兩者嘅分別之後咧，我哋就進入去睇下咧點解啲人會揀 Retirement Village，或者點解啲人會去 Aged Care Home Service。 好啦，咁左上角咧就代表我哋年青嘅時候咧，一路咧好努力咧建立我哋嘅家園啊。咁我哋間屋咧又越整越大啊，可能係搬咗好多次咁樣。好啦，隨住我哋一路年長咧，我哋咧啲細路咧長大結婚啊，間屋原本可能係3房、4房、5房都好啦，啊，漸漸咧就變得空巢，得翻你兩公婆喺度住啊。咁你會覺得咧，喂，我2個人唔使住一個4房、5房嘅屋啊，3房有陣時你都覺得嫌多一滯，你唔想打理嗰啲草啊，你覺得你個體力慢慢支付唔到啦啊。咁喺澳洲土生土長嘅人咧，好多時候佢哋就有個念頭走出嚟咧，就係 downsizing 啦。咁呢個 downsizing 咧會帶俾佢哋3個好處嘅。第一咧就係話咁大間屋咧，你唔使再搞分拆啊、碑啊、嗰啲草啊、嗰啲樹啊，你唔需要咧再清潔咁多個地方啊，你唔需要再慢慢去行咁多級樓梯啊。特別有啲人咧可能係2層屋嘅 double story 啊，你基本上咧2個人自己越嚟越老，開始咧返璞歸真咁樣嚇。你希望咧住得舒適啲攞多啲精力去旅行好過啦咁樣。咁第二點咧就話隨住你嘅年紀漸長咧，你就會發覺咧揸車係你嘅難題嚟嘅。咁我喺教會裏邊咧好多年長嘅弟兄姊妹咧，佢哋咧都話已經漸漸揸唔到車啊，裏邊所牽涉到個判斷力咧，自己反應唔快啊。仲有一樣更加重要咧，就係隻眼啊，即係隻眼咧，稍為出邊啲光咧唔係咁夠光咧，自己就唔係咁睇得清楚。有啲朋友咧，其實年紀唔係好大，可能佢已經黃昏打下夜晚佢唔揸車嘅，即係揸日頭啊，即係視乎你嘅年紀，視乎每一個人嘅身體狀況啊。到咁上下咧，你以往咧可以揸住架車咁周圍捐嚟捐去啊，或者話揸10分鐘咧就由間屋去到個火車站，然後搭火車啊。咁呢個動作咧，隨住你個 mobility 一減低咧，你冇咗架車嘅時候，你成個生活方式都轉咗啊。所以啲人咧就要 relocate 或者話搬去一啲近 shopping centre 同埋近巴士站嘅地方住啊，即係咧令到佢唔揸車咧，自己嘅生活都可以正常。咁舉個例啦，我有啲朋友咧，以往住咗2層嘅大屋嘅咁啊隨住年紀漸長咧，佢又搬去一個 shopping centre 上邊嗰啲住宅啊。佢話：哇，真係正啊！隨時想落去樓下呢個 shopping centre 咧，咁搭 lift 落去就搞掂啊！去旅行咧一樣咧，閂埋道門啊，唔需要驚間屋咧有賊走入嚟咁樣。咁第3個 downsizing 嗰個好處咧，就係錢銀嘅問題啦啊！你以往嗰間大屋咧，其實鎖住咗你一大嚿錢噶嘛啊！就算你唔係大屋啊，只要你一間 house 變做一個 apartment 或者話一個呢個 retirement village 咧啊，佢都可以 free up 咗你一嚿錢。咁所以好多人咧就覺得 why not 我唔去用咗呢嚿錢啦嚇。正所謂所謂咧，夕陽無限好，只是近黃昏啊！啲錢咪留翻俾自己咧，去下旅行好過啦咁樣。咁嘅構思就係咧，啲人就去到某個年紀咧就會 downsizing。但係 downsizing咧有2條路可以行嘅喎。有啲人咧就會選擇咧去 downsize 去一個 apartment， 有啲人咧就會揀 retirement village。呢兩者嘅分別咧就視乎你嘅經濟能力啊。經濟能力好嘅咁當然咧就係揀呢個 apartment 啦，因為 apartment 咧係始終你自己 own 嘅嚇。而呢個 retirement village 咧，你其實去俾錢入住咧，你唔係 own 咗個物業，你即係有嗰個權利咧係住入去嘅啫啊！你住完咗之後咧，佢咧就打個折頭俾翻嚿錢你啊，嗰個物業唔係你嘅啊。咁當然咧 retirement village 佢個好處就係佢平啲咯啊。咁另外有啲人咧，佢都會由 apartment downsize 落去 retirement village 嘅喎。咁點解啊？因為好多人佢本來咧就係住開啲 apartment 嘅。咁佢話 apartment 咧可能5分鐘、10分鐘就去到火車站。但係咧，當你漸漸揸唔到車嘅時候咧，如果你要行5分鐘至10分鐘嘅路咧，唔係講少㗎啊！即係特別係落雨冬天嘅時候咧嚇。咁如果個 apartment 本身咧唔近 shopping centre 又唔近車站嘅話咧，咁你年紀漸長唔揸到車嘅時候咧，你就廢咗武功㗎咯喎啊！你樣嘢都要依靠人去幫你手啊，咁啊麻煩咗啦啊！咁所以有啲人咧，佢就會去到某個階段咧，可能住 apartment 都好啦，咁咪賣咗啊，就轉落去呢個 retirement village。 Retirement Village 雖然我講過啦，佢係平過呢個 Apartment roughly 咧平30% 到啦嚇，咁自己都有翻20-20萬咧係揸住嚟到用啊，咁然之後咧喺 Retirement Village 去揀嘅時候咧，佢就揀呢啲就腳方便嘅啊，咁所以有人係做呢個選擇喎。咁究竟啲人喺 Retirement Village 會住幾耐咧？咁根據個大數據咧，平均入住嘅年齡咧就係75歲啊。啲人 roughly 咧會住8至9年啊，住到大約係83-84歲度咧，有60% 嘅人咧係會轉咗入去呢個 Aged Care Home 嘅，住入去呢個安老院舍。點解啊？因為喺 Retirement Village 咧係你要自己照顧自己嘅啊，你只係享受個環境嘅啫。當你都需要人7成24咁照顧嘅時候咧，你咧就要落下一步啊。咁所以 Aged Care Home 咧其實係 Retirement Village 嘅下一集啊。咁當然咧有啲人咧佢可以咧就係去同屋企人住啦，住一啲 Granny Flat 啊嗰啲等等啊。咁而 Retirement Village 平均所有院友嘅年紀啊，嗰個平均數咧 roughly 咧就係80歲。好啦，咁喺了解咗呢個背景之後咧，我就同大家睇睇咧，究竟 Retirement Village 佢有幾多種唔同形式嘅合約，同埋咧實際嘅收費啊嗰個計算係點樣？好啦，咁當我哋真係要揾呢啲 Retirement Village 嘅時候咧，咁我哋咧用咩途徑去揾到佢哋咧？咁樣好啦，咁第5點咧就好多人嘅大難題啦，就係當你住完咗呢個 Retirement Village 啊，可能咧你想搬翻屋企住，又或者咧你想移去呢個 Aged Care Home， 咁啊點樣咧係攞翻自己嗰筆錢咧？啊，好多糾紛喺裏邊啊，咁我而家就同大家睇呢樣嘢咯。第6點咧就係講嗰啲住開 Retirement Village 嘅人咧，佢要轉過去住呢個 Aged Care Home。好啦，咁跟住嚟有啲人會問咧，就話究竟啲 temporary resident 咧係可唔可以咧申請呢啲 Retirement Village 嘅咧？咁樣好啦，當我做完呢2集呢個安老院舍同呢個 Retirement Village 嘅時候咧，哇！我自己都心力交瘁啊，因為我發覺嗰個複雜內容同埋嗰個計算咧，裏邊嗰個難度啊，遠遠超過我自己做一個 MBA 嘅 assignment 啊！我有個感觸就係，當一個人已經去到咁年紀老嘅時候咧，